Welcome back to Shonen Pulse. This is episode 29. I'm your host, Yato, and I'm joined with my boy, Papa Traffy,
Yo.
and the Greek Weeb.
What's up?
We are a manga podcast that reviews 9 different weekly manga. Chainsaw Man, Centuria, Dandadan, Gachiakuta, Ranger Reject, Shangri-La Frontier, Ichi the Witch, Odor of the Flame, and Kagurabachi. If you know anybody that isn't following the podcast and they read any of these manga, then be an annoying person, friend, whatever you consider yourself to be, and send this podcast over to them. Help us out. Hit the subscribe button and the like button. Sorry, we've been missing in action. You know how life goes. Everybody's got different things going on, but we gathered here today to try and talk about some of them their comic books. So I ain't gonna stretch the intro out too long. Let's just jump right into it, y'all. Thanks for watching and stuff like that. But yeah, we're gonna start off with Chainsaw Man chapter 201, 206. Just woman apology. It's been a while. And Traffy, how you feeling, man?
Oh man. So this chapter, it I don't know if it's just me, but the Chainsaw Man chapters lately have been feeling super short. Like
Mm.
I
You're not the
feel
only one.
they just feel like they go by so fast, and it might just be the way that Fujimoto likes to fill some pages with, just his artwork to show what's happening in the world. I get that, but it does make it feel like, you're breezing through these chapters a little too quick. Besides that, this chapter is kind of crazy though, because we're actually seeing like, an emotional Dingy, and he's just stuck saying, I'm sorry. And, we saw something similar when Makima reminded him of what he did, but, he didn't break down to what looks like this level.
Yeah, I that's actually something that I kind of like because to an extent it does show his more, I want to say, like awareness of his surroundings and like actual consequences of his actions now. Because even back then, like I guess a lot of this stuff never fully sunk in for Denji, even during that last arc of part one up until like the end. But with everything that's been happening, it does kind of show that he's been like, I guess, taking more into account of what's been going on and everything that's been happening. It just, I don't know, it just feels like things are starting to really come full circle to an extent.
Yeah, it's good to finally see Denji, facing his actions and stuff. But I wonder how much of that is actually just because of the Falling Devil's like power, maybe kind of like putting him in a nightmare state type of deal, kind of forcing him to deal with these things and not like something that he's kind of doing on his own. Um, but I don't know. It was a cool chapter. But yeah, I definitely agree with Traffy saying that it feels like it's going by fast. These chapters, they it feels like as soon as you start it, it's over. And uh, I've said before recently, I've kind of like been falling out of love with Chainsaw Man. I didn't hate the chapter, but I know that it's building to something, and I'm just ready to see what that is. But overall, just I don't know. I've been saying for basically the entirety of Chainsaw Man Part Two that everybody should just let him cook, and now I'm kind of just like, all right, I'm ready for the food now. I'm ready for the cooking to end. Let's just get to the meat and potatoes, man. Let's just get the food. But I like Falling Devil, so I'm happy to see her back in action and doing her thing. But I guess we'll see what Asa has planned, pulling Denji out of the sky like he did this for her earlier, right? When she was falling, wasn't he the one to catch her, caught her?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, so
I
it's cool to see that.
Yeah, I like the dynamic here though, because it's basically Asa and Yoru arguing. So it makes it look like, Asa genuinely cares for Dingy, which, is great. But I don't I I don't see a happy ending happening because Fujimoto does not like happy endings, but I'm hoping everything turns out all right. It feels like it's
I'm
trying to go in that direction. I just don't want to get my hopes too high.
I mean,
Yeah,
wouldn't it be the biggest plot twist for Fujimoto to actually let his character have a happy ending after all the crap that he's put him through?
It would.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. I
yeah,
can't see it happening.
yeah. Definitely
I
not
mean, you're right.
expecting
It's
it.
Fujimoto.
Yeah. Still, there's some other elements that have to come into play. Like, is he gonna meet the control devil again? And is he gonna get to search or find the blood devil? And what's gonna happen with those things? And we still got characters like Kobeni and Kishibe that haven't shown up. So it's like, what's gonna happen with them if they're gonna make their returns and stuff. So there's still some time to hurt Denji some more, I guess. But I guess it'd be cool if Denji gets a happy ending, but I would like him to just mature a little more. I don't know if that's ever gonna happen.
Yeah, I
Mm,
mean, I think the more he has a normal life, the more he would mature. But that's kind of what he's striving for. That's his end goal. He just hasn't gotten there yet.
Yeah, yeah. So I know what the way last chapter ended with the fire devil. Maybe it wasn't last chapter, but the chapter before that. We haven't talked about it in a while. But when the fire devil like threw that head at Denji, and she was like, "Do you remember this guy?" Did you guys have any theories on who that was or anything
Uh,
before it was revealed? Who it was.
nope.
no, I saw some people throw out some theories, but I didn't really entertain any of them. Like I saw someone's theory was that it was Kishibe.
Oh, brother.
Yeah.
The the only one that I saw that I like paid any attention to was that they said maybe it was Denji's dad because like at some point in a flashback they showed Denji's like dad and it was just like a silhouette and his head shape kind of looked the same like with the hair and stuff. So they were thinking that maybe it was Denji's dad and he was like, do you recognize your own father type of deal? But it ended up being some twin or whatever that got involved with the fucking fire devil and shit. So that was interesting, but yeah, no one could have predicted that. There's still twists like that. Fujimoto, he still has a lot of just out of nowhere plot twists that he could throw at you and just be like, yeah, did you decided not to save that one taxi driver and it turns out he has hated you all along type shit. So it could go anywhere. There's still a lot of places and a lot of things that he can do and ways that he can extend the story if he wanted to, but do wonder if we're getting into if this is last arc or second to last arc territory.
I
Mm,
I would
sure.
assume second to last. Like I think we'll get through this arc and this arc will kind of wrap the story up and then the final arc will be, the end of the series, I guess. Unless Fujimoto decides to go into a part 3, which
Bro,
I don't know.
yeah, I feel like I feel the sales have been declining a lot. I think I saw somebody posted the sales and they were just dropping. People have not been super into part two. I think compared to part one, it was a lot more explosive and stuff, and the action was crazy. Not to say that the action wasn't crazy, but it's been a definitely a different vibe. So I would be interested to see what he would do for part three and what that reception will look like.
Yeah,
Mm,
yeah, but that we could only wonder at this point.
Yeah, for sure. But I'm here for falling devil stuff, and I'm ready to see what death has cooking up. Just that's been something that's been kind of looming throughout the entire part. So guess we'll find out soon, and see how they get out of this. Like, are they Asa? Saves Denji from falling upward, but like, what do they do next? Do they somehow beat the falling devil? I don't see them beating falling, but I don't know. We'll find out soon. What you
Yeah,
guys think?
yeah.
mm.
It's not unless Asa or Denji break out some like super cracked power or come to some like super amazing realization about the Falling Devil's power. I don't know. I don't think they're ready to take the Falling Devil on yet.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
yeah. I mean, it could just end up being in the feet because again, this whole thing is just the Fire Devil just trying to give Denji some big test to have him try and actually choose. Like, right, I guess right now between saving Asa, or in this case maybe himself too, and like maybe the rest of the world and innocent people to take out Falling. But like, Falling is way too strong right now unless they've unless it's like you said, they figure out some way to like I don't know, figure out some sort of weakness or some hole in the ability or an opening. I don't know. Unless Asa actually manages to turn Denji into a weapon temporarily, maybe that'll give like an option to win, perhaps. But like I feel like it'd be a bit too early. That's something to say for like the final fight if that's going to be the case.
Yeah, I think if like they were to beat her, it probably Asa would have to be involved since like she's being controlled by a horseman. Well, not I don't know if controlled is the right word, but she's
Co-piloted.
following she's following the orders of the death horseman. So maybe the war horseman can do something too. But I don't know. I guess we'll see soon how they get out of
Yeah.
this one.
Yeah.
But yeah, but I'm kind of squeezed out for Chainsaw Man. You guys got anything else, Traffy?
Nah, that's it for me.
Weep.
I'm good.
All right, that's gonna do it for Chainsaw Man Chapter 206, Chest Woman Apology. Now jumping into Centuria Chapter 57, Memento Mori. Weep, what do you think?
Oh, I do not like the implication of what next chapter is going to give us. Because oh man, we're gonna get a resurrection of of a beloved character probably to be used as a
Oh yeah,
pawn.
yeah.
That's the main thing from this chapter for me.
Hopefully they can
Outside of the
stop
fact
that.
that Luke basically has a transformation also, seemingly.
Yeah, that was cool. Lucas can turn into a fucking horse or a
Centaur.
centaur or something. Yeah, like this. This is cool. This is not a. I'm mad they didn't show us like the full. Like
I
usually
know.
when something like that happens, you show the full body. Like give us a fucking double spread with the. Like you could have went all out with that. It just showed us his full form. We just get pony butt and fucking fucking arms and stuff, and like then it's over. Like they could have showed us a little more of that form so we get a visual of that. But
So I think it kind of ties into the story. The reason they didn't, it's kind of just like a sneak peek at it, which is the reason that Julian's like Luca, this form, and then it dissipates. So I think we most likely will get like a double spread when the form is actually revealed. But at the moment, it was just like a split second thing, so they didn't focus on it too long. Besides, Julian's curiosity, I guess you would call it.
you're
Yeah,
like
I
what?
kind of agree with you on that one.
You're like what the fuck is this? Okay, I guess we're moving
Yeah.
fast.
But
Yeah.
man, this chapter was so good. Like, and this is just me glazing Centuria because y'all know I love Centuria, but the whole noticing thing from Julian in regards to Lucas and how they work so effortlessly as a team.
Hmm.
And the other thing is, I don't remember which episode or which chapter it was, but when I had noticed that Julian's mark on his face had extended, and I was like, what if this turns into like a mask or something? What if it is? Like, what if it's something similar to what Lucas did this chapter because it just kind of breaks away?
That would
And
be interesting.
Yeah.
we know he has multiple powers. We just don't
Hmm.
know how many and what exactly they are besides the shield.
True.
Yeah, well, that and the sword, like he has the shield, his sword. He can do something with swords too, right? I can't remember, but
He made a sword, I think.
is the sword? Well, his sword is physical. It's not like an energy thing, but I
Oh
feel
wait,
like
no,
he
wait.
did something. He did something with the sword, I think. But then yeah, he's got the fucking conjure shield, and then he's got this fucking horse form or whatever, the centaur form. So it's like, what else can he fucking do? He's probably got a lot of abilities, and he's just kind of like been letting us see him as just like a mercenary, but he's actually like ridiculously strong. Not just stronger than your average human, but like he's not even fucking human anymore type shit. Like fucking centaur form.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean I mean you have to remember he is technically the bastard son of the king, so
Yeah. But like nobody else has had all this. Like what the
true.
fuck? What the hell is this Bob or Like I wanna learn more about this guy.
I also kind of love that the prophetess just does not recognize the guy, doesn't recognize Luca because like he's always wearing armor and never speaks while in the castle. So it's just perfect, and no one ever knows his. She probably doesn't know like his abilities. So it's really interesting how that whole thing's going on because she has no idea who she's fighting.
Yeah, it's the
And
perfect disguise.
yeah,
Just take off the armor. It's like Superman taking off the glasses.
except more
Well,
effective.
yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
except it covers his whole face. Yeah, I
yeah,
know.
his whole shit. Yeah.
All that to say,
But
go watch Superman in July.
Oh, yeah,
no.
I'm going to.
Yeah,
Is it like a live action in theaters or something?
yeah.
Yeah, what the
Oh,
James
okay.
I
Gunn
mean, how have you not
Superman
heard of it?
movie?
I haven't been keeping up or
Go
paying
watch the
attention.
trailers. Not right now though.
Yeah. Anyway,
Okay.
Centuria.
Yeah.
But
Sorry.
So
yeah,
did
so
you
go ahead, Yato. You haven't said much
oh no,
about this chapter.
I was just wondering like if y'all thought TT was gonna do like any more because like last chapter she kind of posted up like she was gonna try and fight, but then Julian came and saved her. Like, what are your thoughts on TT and shit?
You know,
It
I
was.
I
You
like
go.
I like the way that they went about it because we were all speculating that over the years TT has been training, getting stronger, but I actually love the fact that she's the only one there that's like normal. And even with her being normal, having no powers, she was still ready to fight and defend Diana. And, that just kind of lifted her character a lot.
Yeah, she got heart.
Yeah.
Yeah. Part of the group.
So like, I mean, if she ain't do no training, up until this point, I feel like if she's gonna survive, she's got to do something now. Because like, come on, man, like you can't just be the caretaker. Like you got to know how to throw a fucking acorn grenade or something.
Yeah.
Like,
What if what if Diana somehow like gives her some sort of ability based off of her being the prophesized child and shit like that, and that the demon goat that was speaking to her last chapter in a flashback,
yeah,
which
yeah,
that was something. But
yeah,
what if she can like empower people to be like her guardians and shit like that?
that would be dope.
You
And I
know what
mean,
I
we were
just
talking about that.
you know
Go
what I
ahead,
just
Trav.
thought about?
What?
Yeah.
So they're hinting at the revival of Engval, right?
Hmm.
And what if TT's power is something that lies within death, and then she ends up somehow taking over Engval's reincarnated body, and then that's how she becomes like strong for the group.
If she fucking uses like she basically just steals the resurrection or whatever
Yeah,
ownership.
yeah, like her soul goes into it and takes it over or something after she dies.
Interesting.
That would definitely be unexpected.
Yeah.
The necromancer summons somebody that's like, haha, I got your friend. And it's like, no, you don't. She's my friend for a reason.
Yeah.
No, I think Engvall will come back, and Engvall had a strong will, so she'll probably be able to fight against the resurrected control. That's what
Yeah,
I'm
Maybe.
thinking.
I can see her doing the Toji fucking Fushiguro thing where he like looks and is like, oh, these are my friends. I'm not gonna fight them. Just stabs her own fucking braids out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see that.
Hmm.
Plus, like, I think she had, I think that process of reviving Arcos like took some time to like change things and remove his, his will and his ego and all that stuff. I don't feel like she's gonna have, if I'm remembering right, I don't think there's, time to do all that with this lock of hair. Like, this is just bringing her back, and it's
Maybe.
she's still gonna have her will most likely, but
Yeah.
um I like the character. I like the necromancer, and I'm down to see her do more stuff.
Mhm.
But yeah, she about to get fucking stepped on if she brings Engval back. That'd
Yeah.
be funny if Engval comes back and it's literally like Toji, like they revive her, and she just turns and beats the shit out of him with an undying body. Like even Arcos gets fucking pieced up.
Oh man. So we did kind of skip over it, but them just ignoring Julian is probably the smartest thing they could do because they're not trying to accelerate his death. They're just trying to let him slowly die so they have time to do everything else.
Hmm.
Yeah.
They're like,
If
just ignore
only
him, go after the child of prophecy.
Yeah. The thing is, like, if only because it was established previous last chapter, Julian can't really like form full sentences at all now due to how injured he is. But I figured if he did, he'd probably be like, Luca, kill me so I can instantly regenerate and have be back at full strength.
Yeah, yeah,
Because
Yeah,
like
probably.
he's
bash my
literally like,
brains in type shit.
yeah. Unless he finds like a blade on the battlefield and just slits his own throat or stab himself in the head and then just comes back to life and shit.
Yeah,
Yeah, has
that
he?
that'd be the
Did
easiest
he?
way.
Did he say anything in this chapter? I know he was like thinking about like the fucking Minotaur form, but
Not
yeah, I don't think
not
he said
really,
a
no.
word.
Nope, not a
More so that
word.
he's about to collapse. But that like
Yeah,
was just thought bubbles. He can't
yeah,
speak.
yeah. He hasn't. Yeah, because his throat got crushed or some shit.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
but
crazy.
yeah. Again, this Centuria has had like pretty fast paced chapters with this
Yeah,
whole with everything that's going on. I mean, it makes sense. It's like a big, a giant ass conflict, so it makes a lot of sense. Though I do have to say, you think like the maid and that other bounty hunter from the beginning will play some role going forward with this last fight because the guy said he was setting up insurance at the beginning. So
yeah.
what do you think that mean? What do you think that means? Because I know he wants to go after the girl with the bone tail, but like, what
I
do you think he'll do?
I think that's for his safety because the prophet lady, can't remember her name at the moment. Um,
Austria.
yeah, she did say that she was hoping they would all die because basically her plan was to kill all of the marked people that were bounty hunters and whatnot, while they were able to kill uh, Julian or the Diana.
Yeah, I think
So
he's doing that so that like he can say that he did something and wasn't like cowering or running away. It's like, look, boss, I caught the deserter or whatever.
True. That might be his. That's probably his plan to like ensure his safety for the most part.
Yeah, and setting up these nails just in case, or his fucking turrets or whatever. But he said we can act like we're working to kill some time. So yeah, just basically he's not trying to go and fight fucking Julian and them and fuck with these monsters
no.
anymore. But yeah, he's
Yeah.
like, nah, these dudes are a little too much, but we can fuck with those other guys. They're not so strong. But
Yeah.
yeah, this it's been some interesting developments, definitely with the fucking goat thing, and we were talking about that a while back. Like, what if there's some what if she starts speaking in tongues and fucking communicating with some inner demon type thing, and looks like sort of was happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Goat talking to her in demonic unknown language or whatever. So
Hmm. Oh boy. A
can't wait to
lot.
get a translation on that shit. Find out what these fucking alien letters mean.
Hmm.
Bunch of fucking BB boops and fucking goat noises.
Yeah.
It would be cool if they made their own language for this manga, but I feel like that'd be a lot of work. It'd
It's
help
a
with
lot
like
of
a
work.
theory crafting, because then you could take that and go back and try to decipher earlier stuff, like with the goat.
Yeah. It would
Yeah.
be good. Some I mean these some of these letters all like repeat too. Like they're not like I see a couple of these like it looks like one is like a number 8 with a line going vertically through it, and it's like I've seen that in this like goat speech like 6 times. So like some of these letters repeat. So I mean uh I don't know. I doubt we'll ever get like a fucking alphabet for it, but somebody might try and translate it, or maybe like with volume extras or something. It might have some information on that. Like we might get some symbols in the volumes telling what these letters mean and stuff. And then it'd be crazy if we do find out later that like this goat told her like some crazy ass shit, but we just get bits and pieces of it like every couple of chapters. We just
Yeah.
get pieces of the alphabet, and somebody goes back and deciphers it, and it's like you will be the god of this land and kill everybody type shit or something. And it's like, oh, wow, we didn't know that because the goat was speaking in that gibberish, but we
Yeah.
fucking
But
30, 50 chapters later, we find out that it was talking some good shit.
that's probably that could be the case. But then again, that'd be just insane amount of work and planning to try and make up your own language for your series. It's a lot to do. So I
I mean,
don't know, especially considering this is a weekly schedule.
shit. Well, I mean, that's something that you can set up before. Like if you know you're gonna start a
True.
manga, like you can make your own language and fucking just have that shit waiting in the fucking in the tuck, just ready for the day when it becomes like something that you need. But I mean, if you're gonna write a story, go all out. Don't hold back on your shit because like it's gonna be too much work. Like if you want your shit to bust and be popular, like you gotta put that work in.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
But yeah, good chapter.
Mm.
So I don't think it's had any bad chapters lately. But yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. I think I'm squeezed out. What about you, Weep
I think I'm good.
Traffic?
I'm good.
All right, that's going to do it for chapter 57, Memento Mori. Now jumping into Dandadan, chapter 198, Smash the Typhoon's Eye. And before we jump into it, I just want to say that I guess I called it back when we talked about this. We haven't talked about Dandadan in like 4 or 5 weeks because of, our little break. But I was saying that I think they're going to shoot the fucking sharks into the fucking water to cool it down to try and stop this typhoon. And like that was a big part of their battle plan to use the fucking fish sticks, and now they're battling the eye of the typhoon. We said that too. Like maybe they're gonna get. I think I was saying I think GG might try and kick it or something, but I mean this is cool too. Fucking. This is some final boss shit, and the art has been insane lately with these last couple chapters and this fucking typhoon art. It's crazy.
Yeah.
What you think?
Insane.
How you feeling, Trav?
Oh man. So yeah, no, the art has just been absolutely amazing, and I love this whole like teamwork thing that's going on, if you can call it that. Like, of course, there's the teamwork from like the good characters, but there's the teamwork with the mama and the giant
Anaconda.
worm and oh my god. I don't know. The whole interaction with Gigi using the evil gun to try to force cold water up into the eye is it's so smart because like it makes sense for
Yeah.
what's happening in a fantasy world basically.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
it
like that
does.
they always try to make the fights make sense and stuff. Like you fucking diffuse the thing with the weather or whatever, like with the cold water and shit, and then you like what they're doing, shooting at it and shit. This is cool. I like
Yeah.
they always trying they don't just like fucking headbutt the monster to win every time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
we're being
like
smart with it with this.
Yeah.
use the father son umbrella Kamehameha in order to shoot the
Yeah, that was
water.
dope. Yeah, that
I love
was
it when people combine powers.
Yeah, that was fire. And this is like fucking what, three people? Like the Kabata the shark with the fucking Kamehameha and the fucking umbrella thing. Like they're doing a lot here. I like
Yeah.
that like the Bobo's hands are like fucking making the worm like one of those fucking like tube snake things and they're flying with it.
Yeah.
Like this whole sequence, this whole stretch of chapters is just really cool. It's gonna be fucking incredible to watch this like when it's animated in like
Oh
3 more years.
Science Star is
Yeah.
gonna like have a field day with this entire section of the story.
Yeah, they're gonna go nuts. I wonder if it's like what the time of day is like in this since they're in the like fucking negative zone or whatever you call
It's
it. I
hard to
wonder if
tell.
it's like I wonder if it's like gonna be nighttime for this or if it's gonna be like daylight. I feel like nighttime fits and it's like there's
There's
some panels where it's like really black outside.
maybe because like this is all going off if all this stuff is going on at the exact same time that we're getting Okarun's group fighting the gym teacher. If it's going on at the same time, then yeah, I do see it like being nighttime. Though for all we know, it could just be like a little earlier. For all we know, but it
I know
should
it
be night.
I know
A
it's
lot of the big events happen at night.
I know it's impossible because they're like in another like realm and also far away from cell towers. But I just thought like how ridiculously silly it would be right now if like Okaru like Okaru didn't finish like their job and they called. It was like, how's it going on your end? And they're floating above the fucking atmosphere fighting the fucking typhoon eyeball. Like kind of busy right now, bro. We can't talk.
Yeah.
Oh no. Like
Yeah.
when they meet back up, it's like, oh, what'd you do? We fought the giant typhoon human. What'd you do? Uh, we fought our gym teacher.
And Lord of the
Yeah.
Flies.
Yeah, well, that was
Uh,
an ally, but the gym
yeah, but
teacher
still,
thing, yeah, that it happened, but yeah, they everybody's got some stories to tell. So
yeah. I do like how every time Momo's talking about like the typhoon, like she basically imagines Okarun every time, like she's channeling her inner Okarun every single time she talks about this thing, because he just talks about so much stuff that she knows what it is right now.
yeah, it reminds me of like the Professor Oak stuff when like you try to
Oh
ride
yeah.
a bike in the building. It's like the words of Professor Oak ring in your mind. You can't ride a bike in here. It's like Okarun's thoughts. Reminds me of like Death Messiah. Fucking when D would like think of some shit, and he just remember like Death Messiah's words, Ikushi or whatever.
This is a
Uh,
foreshadowing.
yeah, yeah, it's fun stuff, but.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't wait to see, what happens after this. Because I mean, enemy of my enemy, my friend type shit. That's always, fun. So, Keto family, they still got beef with him, but like, are they once they land, is it still gonna be beef, or are they gonna be like, we go our separate ways, or are they gonna start fighting? And like, they still like Momo's group, they were on the way to like a shrine somewhere to get Momo like her like curse broken. So it's always so wild. They like this happened in the middle of a trip to a place. So like when they get to that place, there's probably shit that's fucking waiting for them there too. So this is just a bump in the road for them basically. Like
Yeah,
and they're on a,
that's
Yeah.
a
crazy.
timetable. Yeah, like Seiko was saying, like, no, we gotta like do this shit now. We gotta hurry up because like the time is very tight. We can't like be late. But they're above the clouds fighting a storm right now. Like, what the hell?
Look, they don't even need the
Yeah.
plane anymore. They could just fly on the worm to their destination.
Nope.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
then they still gotta fight these insane people from the evil High Arc right afterwards. Though it would be hilarious. They're like, okay, we did all this bullshit right now. The Great Worm is basically, well, not great right now. Let's shelve this for the time being until we regroup. Don't die
Yeah,
until then, because I want revenge. I see that
yeah, I
happening.
could see that happening too. That makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah. Plus, I mean, they're gonna have to work together to land this thing anyway. Like, if Momo just decides to stop, like using
I
her
mean,
powers on the worm, then they would just all fall to their death.
I mean, it's hmm. You know, they could just let them fall if they were like if they were like that mean, because like technically all Momo has to do is hold on to Gigi with one arm, then hold on to Zuma with the other, and Zuma just floats them down with his umbrella.
That's the assuming. Well, also, where is no, because there's some other people like
I mean,
Yeah,
or just use his abilities to just use like sonic booms to take him back to the plane if it's close
yeah,
enough.
but the plane is like, isn't the plane's like falling or some shit now? I think
I
it
I think
took
that's
some
only in the
damage.
negative zone. I think it's only in negative space that's happening.
Okay,
I
yeah,
have no idea how that works anymore.
yeah. I'm ready. Like, I'm ready
Look,
for this to end just to see how the plane situation is handled.
look, with negative space, don't think about it.
Nah,
Because
I
by all
Yep.
gotta.
means, by all means, the alien invasion should have destroyed half of that city, and it was basically fine afterwards.
Yeah, but Seiko's on that plane. It's like I want to know, like Seiko and some of like Zuma's friends and shit. Like they're
Evamola.
they're on there. Yeah, and Vamola. Yeah, so like, what are they doing right now? Like kicking the sharks out of the fucking holes or
Well,
some
Probably.
shit.
Seiko's flying the plane,
Is she?
Oh
or
right, yeah.
trying to.
Oh yeah, because like they are technically in a separate space. So even though it's in a separate,
Yeah, I
I
think
think
it
it's best we
was.
don't think about negative space right now because it's very screwy.
I think it was last chapter, and Seiko told
I don't
them to
remember.
go after, and she would
Hmm.
try to fly the plane. No, it was 196. Says 2 chapters ago.
Okay.
Holy shit! I just realized we're almost at 200 chapters.
Yep.
Yeah.
Damn,
Very close. I
milestones
won't.
coming up.
Yeah. Hopefully we get a color page. I feel like we haven't had a color page for Dandadan in a long time, so maybe we'll
A
get one
lot of
soon.
series
But
I'm reading are a lot of series are pretty due for color pages that we're
yeah,
reading. I think.
yeah.
Hmm.
What's any of them had one recently?
I think only Ichi.
Yeah, Ichi had one probably like within the last 5 chapters. Yeah,
Yeah,
Ichi is peak.
yep.
yeah,
Ichi the Witch. Yep.
Yeah,
but we're not there yet.
yeah, not there yet.
Yeah, but Don, good stuff. Um, just same thing is I'm always saying, just ready to see what happens next. This last page though, like the art here is crazy. You know that can't be said enough. The last page with the fucking storm, I guess, dissipating and spiraling out or whatever. Somebody posted that shit. It was like, I thought this shit was about soccer, bro. Like the fucking blue lock meme.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, because this shit is just insane. And Blue Lock has had a lot of like ridiculous pages or whatever. But yeah, I think I'm squeezed out for Dandadan this week. You got anything else, Weeb?
No, I think I'm good with Dandadan.
Okay, Traff.
Yeah, I'm tapped out.
That's going to do it for Dandadan, chapter 198, Smash or Pass. I mean, Smash the Typhoon's Eye. Now jumping into Shangri-La Frontier, chapter 225, The Price of Strength Accepted with Eyes Like Fire. I love Shangri-La's titles. They're always fucking cool. And like when I
They're
read them, I'm
long.
just, yeah, they're long. They're like a fucking sentence. When I read them, I'm always like, oh man, I can't wait to see what, rubbing my hands together. Can't wait to see what this is going to be about. Versus, most other things are like, fucking victory or fucking entropy. Or, the titles for other stories are usually very simple, but Shangri-La
Foot
Frontier's
Soldier
always
on the
got some.
Run, Part 1 through
Yeah,
10.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
it's nothing. I don't have to wonder. It's like, oh yeah, D is on the run. But with this, it's like, okay, what the price of strength and accepted with eyes like fire. What's happening here? Who's gonna accept these? Shit like that. Whatever. But yeah, cool chapter. It's nice to see Akane Akitsu getting into some action. We haven't really seen her do much in a while. She wasn't. Was she was involved in the Katana battle, right? Or no? I can't remember if she
Yeah.
was there for
Yeah,
that.
yeah, she
Was
was.
she?
She was. She was part. She
Okay.
was part. She was the main party member.
Okay, so yeah, she was involved lately, but still, it's just nice to see her getting a little training arc fighting this fucking true quiet monster. This is fucking fire design. What you think about this one, Weeb?
I got two things to say, but first off, I just love how Sunraku just assumes based off of the monster that Akane Kitsu's fighting is that it's a similar scenario from when he was doing the Vorpal Coliseum, and that this is their final fight. But
Yeah,
no, turns out this is the first monster, and it's like there's like, oh, you guys beat one of these massive colossi. Why would I give you such an easy opponent? So like after fighting them, you gotta fight these tough as shit bosses now. So that was kind of hilarious. I love Sunraku's reaction. Be like, wait, this this tricky boss is uh is only the first one in like a battle of probably 10.
I think
What
I
the
love it.
hell?
the cooler part about that is the implication. Um, essentially, we know at this point when it comes to battle, Sunraku is probably the most capable character,
Hmm.
and Akane Ikitsu, she's capable, but she's not as capable as Sunraku, and
Not as perceptive also.
the fact that she's now going through what he's already been through, but her first level is where his highest level was. I feel like she'll come out on the other side of it with much more battle knowledge and experience so that she'll be able to hang more with Sunraku.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, I do see that happening. That and also Sunraku's being their mentor right now.
Yeah, it's just also just really cool that like there are encounters and things in this game that scale with levels. So like Sunraku might have got here at level 10, and the monsters were like they were set up to be like level 15 monsters or whatever, but Akane Akitsu's fighting them at like level 90 or whatever. So the monsters are 120 with way more complicated mechanics and stuff like that versus like if she would have fought this same monster, it might not have had the same, kit, probably not had as many abilities or as much stats like crit damage and shit or, cooldown reduction level. Like just things might have been different with this fighter. She fought it, 20 levels ago. So it's cool to see that. And Sunraku's like, damn, this is see him thinking this is the last one, and she's like, nope, it's the first one, but she's still super excited to go. Well, this is a guy and a fucking female character, but whatever. Akane Akitsu, just a ball of light energy, just excited to fight these monsters is something that won't get old. Even I think Ryogoku wasn't that her name? The fucking samurai Ryogoku.
The player
Kyogoku.
killer.
Yeah, I think
Oh
it was
yeah,
Kyogoku. She
you mean
was
Kyotimate?
Yeah, Kyotsumi. Yeah, she was like blinded by fucking Akane Kitsu's ball of light, just fucking
Yeah,
aura. So yeah, his character's fun.
Yeah, it's
yeah.
Uh,
like how
All that. Sorry, you go.
oh, it's like how is your first boss or challenge a teleporting Shikamaru? Like that's just not fair.
Yeah.
yeah,
Look.
Like the interesting part is that I feel like this is kind of purposeful, especially since they mentioned Lycoin or Lycokin, whatever, specifically because watching her deal with a you know enemy that has a similar attack pattern to what Lycokin can do, or someone please correct me here. I'm
it
dying.
was it was originally like Heion, but they changed it to like a Gon.
Okay, I'll just say
So
Lycagon then.
yeah,
And so I feel like this is a moment for him to sit back and watch while Akane Akitsu is getting hands-on experience with dealing with that kind of technique. So it feels like it's kind of preparing them still for the boss fight to come. And that makes sense with Vash being one of those unique monsters. And now even Sunraku's thinking about, like, oh, am I going to have to fight Vash? How do I do this? Do I have to kill him like I had to kill the other ones? I don't want to do that.
yeah,
Yeah. Also, I like how Sanraku is like in this instance realizing, okay, so this is a bonus unique scenario. This means Vash really does have a connection to the Colossi, or maybe he is one of the Colossi. So the obvious is coming to Sanraku, which means the confirmation is basically, at least to him, is starting to be realized, which
Yeah.
is
yeah,
something that I am glad that he's putting together right now because it makes sense, especially with how they basically beat one Colossi and got moved to the next stage for another Colossi, and now we're setting up to fight another Colossi pretty soon. So I am I'm really excited to see how this Vorpal Soul uh, bonus unique scenario is going to pan out because from how things are going, it's very possible that however this ends up panning out, especially if Vash is like a Colossi that they have to fight, it's very possible that it'll only be Sunraku and Akane Akitsu in that unique scenario since they're the ones taking the Vorpal epic quest right now, and
yeah,
none of their party members were around or were part of their parties when they got the quest, like with what happened with Guitarnid and whatever and Lycagon. So this is literally just Vash probably preparing them not only for other Colossi fights but for his own to make
yeah.
them worthy of like being his opponents.
Yeah, I do. Like initially, I thought like if he is a Colossi, then like this place would get like raided by people who wanted to kill him and the other rabbits because they're they're mobs or whatever. And I thought that it would be a situation where Sunraku and the gang are like defending a Colossi basically, and like by defending him, that would count towards defeating. The encounter isn't like in World of Warcraft, there was I don't other games probably did it too, but like you normally go into a dungeon or a raid and you kill the monsters, but there was a boss in one raid where it was like your objective was to heal it. It was wounded and it was like hurt laying down, and there was waves of enemies that were like rushing and fighting another like monster in the dungeon, and you were like the goal was to beat off the attack pause
Whoa.
to, to destroy the attackers and to heal the boss. So it's like it'd be cool if like we get a scenario like that where like to win you just make sure that Vash doesn't die for I don't know like 20 minutes or whatever. But the way it's looking too is it does definitely look like maybe Vash might I don't see them killing him, but like I could see him, challenging them, seeing if they're worthy for, the challenges to come down the road. And then, when they beat him, it's not like oh my God, I'm dead, my arm's cut off and I surrender, but like he accepts that like they're strong enough to move on to the next thing and like they can challenge him again or something. But I hadn't even thought about the fact that like only those two had this scenario, and like if they fight, like those two might be the only ones able to fight him. That's actually really cool.
Yeah, I would
Yeah.
love it if that was the case because that also adds more tension for that inevitable fight. Because let's say they at least have Ray there. she's slower than the two of them, but if they can like maneuver Vash in a favorable position, they could deal a crap ton of damage with Armageddon.
Yeah.
Or if they have pencil, or if they end up having like a pencil gun there, she could probably come up with some sort of like funky strategy that will, kind of put things in their favor. So I feel like it makes a lot of sense. And it also helps build up the fact that these two are being set up as like like master student dynamic in a sense. So it does make it does make sense, especially after this chapter, that that's
Yeah.
probably going to be the case.
They
Yeah.
both got
Again,
marked.
none of us have read the web novel, so
True.
I have no idea what's going on with that.
Yeah, but it's cool because both of them have been marked by a different colossi, and both of them have like rabbit companions that gave them, passageway to this place, and both of them have been, seen. Like I guess this is her trial. Like Sunraku's already proved himself kind of to Vash or whatever, and I guess this is her, kind of Akitsu's way of proving themselves to Vash and shit, and being able to
Yeah,
progress with the plot. But um yeah, I think this is definitely cool, and like those two already like Sunraku went back. I forget what the game was called. I think it was Burp or whatever, like Battle Online Passion or something.
something.
Yeah, but like that's where the Sunraku and that Akane Akitsu met. Sunraku like took a break to go play another game, and it was the game with like glitches and stuff. Like people were doing like the wave dashing and shit like that, and this Akane Akitsu was. They figured out how to do like the stretch arm glitch where they like throw a punch and you do something, they time it a certain way and their arm like stretches like Luffy or something, and then after like they fought Sunraku there, they came to Shangri-La. So these characters kind of got some chemistry. I think it'd be really cool to see them like team up to take on a colossi themselves. This would be really dope.
They're
Yeah.
both like quick, close range fighters too.
Yeah. Yeah, and like I'm really interested to see like what Vash's like fighting style would be because he's humanoid, but he's a rabbit like samurai guy. But like, do we really get like samurai stuff again after Wazaimon? And like, I doubt we get anything off the wall crazy like octopus tentacles like Katarnet, but he is a humanoid kind of shogun type of deal. So maybe he throws out monsters because I mean he's forcing them to fight these monsters in this like Coliseum setting. So maybe it's like
Maybe,
he tosses out little minions that you gotta like deal with while he's also trying to cut you down with a sword or something.
maybe, or
Ugh.
it could just be just a straight up brawl, like final phase. The like his shirt and his cape are all off, and it just shows this big ass Yakuza tattoo, and it'll probably just be a whole seven colossi on his back and all that shit, or
Bro,
the rabbit suit, just crest on his back.
if he takes the shirt off and he's just a buff tatted bunny and he fights with fucking hands, that would be fucking fire.
Yeah,
I
it
mean, look,
would.
sometimes the simplest solution is the most likely,
Yeah,
and
I
It's
with
need
always
that.
it's always the old master characters. They pull off the clothes and they're buff as shit.
oh yeah,
Yeah, I need
except
that
Jiraiya.
shit now. What Jiraiya was cool, but
No,
he ain't.
no, I'm talking about like the big buff like Yamamoto and Roshi.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I need that because like I ain't never seen a fucking tatted rabbit, yeah.
Yeah, that'd be
I,
that'd be that'd be hilariously awesome.
yeah, we need that shit. But yeah, no, good chapter. This fucking little boss fight was fucking cool. True Quiet, cool ass name, cool monster design, and Sunraku like looking at the watching the fight, and it's always these things are they always happen. Like well, like you're watching somebody do a fight, and it's like oh yeah, he can't even like notice. Yeah, since he's in the thick of it, he can't notice like the tails and the little things that the boss is doing, like the feints and shit, where it's like trying to do these like look over here and I throw a shadow over there. So it's cool
Yeah.
to see those things happening with this boss fight, but there ended up being even more to it. So it's like you figure out how to do it, but nope, there's still more to this fight. So
Yeah,
it's really cool. And yeah, I want to see what the next fights are going to be like. If we're going to see, fights 2 through 10 or what, I think there was 10, right? Or
Yeah.
yeah.
yeah,
Sunraku's was 10, and I think they confirmed it's 10 this chapter
yeah.
also.
Yeah, so like we probably won't see 10 because that would take a while probably. So we'll probably skip to 9 or 10. It's after they beat this one or something, or maybe like they take a break because like an emergency text comes up or something. But yeah, they started talking about Seagworm and shit again, and a lot of colossi got mentioned and thought about in this chapter and scenarios and stuff. This was it's Shangri-La Frontier is always beefy. Lots of text and lots of boss references and stuff. So it's cooking right now, man. These last few chapters have been really fucking good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely agree with that.
Yeah, so can't wait to see where they go with this. And the anime is gonna go crazy when they start getting to these points. I mean, the
Ne-
anime,
Season 3 next year, I think.
yeah, season three. Yeah,
That,
they already confirmed that they're gonna do it. So it's like, yeah, they're gonna
that's gonna
finish
be
up.
a hype ass season.
Yeah, that shit's gonna go crazy. Fucking Katara net battle animated in the end of the fucking because I don't think they finished. They didn't finish the fighting game tournament. I
They
didn't
literally
watch.
just started it.
Okay, yeah. So there's a lot between then and now that is probably gonna get animated. Um,
And the quality just got better after season 1, so I'm excited for season 3, especially considering that in the middle of season 2, the arc, like a Eternate arc, ended up finishing. So they still had time, still have a lot of time to like animate, pace, and touch everything up. So I'm excited for that.
Yeah,
The Katana
single
fight's gonna go freaking crazy.
single life frontier is just I'm just really happy the adaptation is fucking being done very well for that. It's a
I
shame
You
that
know, I think
Ranger.
you know what's funny? Yeah, we'll talk about that with at some point. But like, I think Shangri-La is probably the best adapted out of all of Weekly Shonen magazine stuff right now. Say maybe 100 Girlfriends. I mean, Four Nights is like a
Hmm.
decent adaptation with some good shots in it, but like it it could have been better. But like right now, it's just Shangri-La Frontier. I would say Blue Lock, but just that one episode of season 2, despite Blue Lock being one of the best-selling manga of last year, and this year and like 6 months this year it's like I think the third best selling manga right now. Like
yeah.
it, yeah. So like
You might get a point. You might be
yeah,
right because like I feel like Gachi is gonna be good, but I feel like it probably like I feel like it should be good, but something in the back of my mind is telling me that like it's not gonna be the best that it could be. So
at
Shangri-La
least not for the
Frontier,
first core.
yeah, but Shangri-La Frontier has been nothing but consistent. I feel like that's it.
And
I'd
better
have to
each
look.
arc.
Yeah, I had to look back at like older Weekly Shonen magazine titles, but
It's
yeah, I'm
like
feeling like it's probably the best that they've had
yeah,
adaptation.
like To Your Eternity was fine. To Your Eternity is is still a good anime. Like they have less like both season 1 and 2 have like I think like 20 episodes, like 4 less than the standard like for like a 2 core season. But and it was still a good adaptation. It was very relatively well paced. But it's since it's not all action focused, there isn't too much to really like fully extend into. Certain shots are done well for it, but like yeah, the more I think about it, it is just Shangri-La Frontier. Like I think the two best adaptations, like or three technically, right now, at least of current date, are Shangri-La Frontier, 100 Girlfriends, and I guess Four Nights of the Apocalypse are like the best in terms of adaptation right now
I
of
think
Shangri-La.
well, I
And
haven't read Ippo, but I feel like Ippo should be up there too because it had a really good fucking
oh,
anime.
I keep forgetting that Ippo is still running.
Yeah,
I keep
but
forgetting that I haven't watched the anime. I need to watch the anime and then read the manga for that thing
yeah,
because
anime is fucking
it's a must
fantastic.
for me.
Yeah, it's
But
a
yeah,
really good series.
Shangri-La is definitely the best animated out of all of Weekly Shonen magazines, like current released newer titles, not counting
Yeah,
Ippo right now.
I feel like just looking through, like looking if you go through, I feel like Shangri-La Frontier might just be the best adaptation that Weekly Shonen magazine has had so far. Like even considering
Probably.
things in the past, like
Yeah. Well, I would count Fire Force, but Fire Force is over, so I'm
yeah.
not gonna
Well, I
count
mean,
it.
I'm just talking about like everything in general. Fire Force might be the only other thing
Yeah.
that like competes with it. But yeah, Shangri-La Frontier has they've been above and beyond, and it's like Weekly Shonen magazine needs to get some better adaptations. Like the Ranger
I'm
shit
like
was insanely bad.
let's not talk about Rangers anime for a
Yeah,
while.
I don't.
I think everyone here wants to make at least make some video on like why the anime kind of sucks. I think you already made a video talking about why you should read the manga already.
Yeah, and I've
Yeah.
been kicking that horse a fucking few weeks, but yeah, I guess
Disappointment.
that'll yeah we can
Yeah.
fuck that later. But I guess you got anything else for this chapter? Weep.
Um, just SLF is definitely the best adapted thing yet. This was a great chapter, and also if you take anything from this, uh, Pokemon should end up scaling all their gym battles to the current levels of the players. Thank you very much.
Oh yeah, I'll agree with that. Yeah. What about you, Traffy?
Nah, I'm good. I don't got anything else.
All right, that's going to do it for Shangri-La Frontier, Chapter 225, The Price of Strength Accepted with Eyes Like Fire. Now jumping into Gachiakuta, Chapter 140.2, Weakness Point Part 2. Traffy, what you thinking?
Oh man. So I just love how Keorana is able to just infuse so much into a single chapter. Like there's serious moments, there's comedy, and everything just works together so well. It's just it's so impressive. Like the whole interaction with Amo, where she's like, "Don't talk to Amo like we're friends," and that face, it's just it's great.
Speaking of Amo, who said that she was going to use her abilities to counteract Mimos?
It was
Hmm.
me. I
I
said it.
wonder. No, that was me.
I don't even remember, yo, but take your
When
fucking
that chapter
W,
came
I
out, I'm like,
guess.
oh man, I was right. I was dead on.
Okay, so that
I
was
mean,
that
it
was
was
like
obvious. I mean, it was obvious, but I'm gonna take what I can take.
I mean, nah, man, don't it won't obvious. I ain't think of it, but it was like 3 or 4 chapters ago. So yeah, fucking cook, shorty. Um, but
But
yeah,
yeah, I do love this chapter. It was awesome. Mainly, uh, I forgot his name. What was his name? What was his name again?
Mimo.
The guy that made the barrier. I forgot his name.
What is
Let me
his
find.
name?
Let me see if I can find the chapter again.
Bro said find the chapter. He don't even got the chapter up. He
I
different. Oh,
closed it by
Felix.
I closed it by mistake earlier.
Felix.
Felix. I like how at the end of the chapter, Felix just realized, uh, Mimo, sir, you you probably poked the wrong bear. Like
Yeah.
you messed with the wrong people, and it's literally just a horrific image of like Rio and Rudo just staring in front of his barrier, like scaring the
Even
piss out of him.
even Zonka's mask, like it's turned on
Yeah,
his head in a way that like it makes it look like he's looking at
yeah.
him too. It's just really creepy and just scary. The fucking the way the light is not hitting their like faces and stuff, and their eyes look very.
Oh
Bro is
man,
shook. His boots are shaking right now. Lord Mimo, we might have fucked up here, man.
yeah. And I do, and Engine just stops like like the baseballs of doom, basically getting up close and personal.
You mean Zonka?
No, uh, oh yeah, Zonka and Engine like fighting the girl who was like launching the baseballs to keep her from doing it for the most part.
Yeah. Oh yeah, cause he does like jump up in her face and knocks down like part of the fucking thing. Like I forget what that is, the stage area. But yeah, this shit that Zonka does, like page like 12, when he's got the speed lines on the eyes. I feel like when people do that, like when they have that fucking streak coming from the eyes, that shit is so fucking cool. I can't remember many other examples. The only other one I can think of right now is Sosei from Ranger when he was fighting like fucking Juji and Urabe, like after he lost his memories and he was like fighting them in the slums, and he was, he fucking stopped. I forget what he did. He like disarmed them or something, but like he had the like speed lines coming from his eyes, and that shit's cool as fuck whenever anybody does that. So Zonka getting that like kind of shot and then flexing his speed and fucking Zonka W's are always gonna hit because he's not had a lot of them in this series. He needs more, so this is really dope for Zonka.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Also, dodge bullet.
Yeah.
the worst game ever. But yeah, no, the art this chapter just as a whole was amazing. Like especially the panel with Rudo, and he's like, "What about my arm? It's just broken. That's all." It's so
Yeah.
cold. It's so cold.
Unhinged badassery.
Yeah. Rudo's tough, man. He's a fucking tenacious little demon, little
Yeah,
gremlin.
and I love how he just says he's used to pain, and then we just got a close up of like an image of his like hands without his gloves. And I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, my Mo,
so awesome.
he probably had never experienced he like the shit that Rudo had never been through. He probably couldn't even fucking imagine like the horrors. He's got like dreams of being this big ruler, but like nah, bro. You definitely your buddy's
He
definitely right.
underestimated them.
You fucked with the wrong ones, man.
Also, I will take. I guess we all should. With Zonka's brother, it is confirmed that he does not like Zonka. Like he promises to his sister that he won't turn out like Zonka. So I think it's clear that yeah, Zonka is a failure, and his brother sees him as a failure and kind of views him as an example of what not to be.
One thing that this chapter reminded me of, and it's gonna be right there, like everyone knows what it is. But the Mayori speech when he's fighting Zalaporo in
Yeah,
Bleach, when he gives the speech about
iconic.
perfection. I feel like this is kind of similar to that because Maimo's thing is he's achieved his dream. He did something he wasn't able to do. And so it's kind of like that where reaching perfection, or in this case, reaching your dream, is like a dead end because you're there and you should always aspire to be something better. And I feel like this is kind of a take on that speech,
Makes sense. I can see that being the case.
especially since, they're kind of dumpstering Maimo and his whole crew right now.
Yeah. Oh
Like
man,
it got them shook.
Yeah,
I mean with
bro.
how I mean with how close a lot of their recent fights have been in high stakes, it makes sense we introduce like, oh, this guy's been having this grand master plan around in the background, setting stuff up to like take over the world and all that shit. And then he faces Rudo in the game. I'm like, oh, they're stronger than I thought, and I might have underestimated these people. Well,
Yeah.
fuck.
Yeah, they
Which
finna.
I think is appropriate. We do need arcs like this because even when saw Jabber the first time, even Jabber was pretty much holding back in his first fight, pretty much because he wasn't using the full power of his Jinky to begin with. So it makes sense how each arc needs to escalate. But at the end of the day, there should be at least one arc where the protagonists at least have, not as hard of a time or be able to take on an enemy that is just basically underestimating them and they kind of get their asses whooped.
Yeah, it's nice for like a reset. Like
Yeah,
every fight doesn't have to escalate to like the bigger and badder and badder and badder until it's we're fighting fucking Majin Buu. Like you can have some jobbers
cool
in
down.
there that are like like some competent jobbers or whatever. Some people who are like they normally
Long but
would
not too
be a
strong.
big deal. Yeah, they normally would be a big deal if like our main characters weren't on the job or whatever. So this is definitely a cool reset and like I can see.
It also
Obviously
shows their growth.
yeah, growth and like obviously they're not gonna kill these guys. Like I don't see Rudo ripping Mimo's fucking skull off and killing, what's his name, Felix. But like this Felix dude's cool. I like the designs. Like I like Felix's design and I really like what's her name, Gil. I got a thing for like jesters and clown characters. So like I really like her design. I like the
Yeah,
fucking big like clown ear the hat thing she
hat.
got going on. And like the baseballs, didn't she like unzipped her hat and baseballs came out or something? Was that last chapter? Was that this one?
I think so.
Yeah, that was cool as fuck. And then she's got like the fucking demon like imp tail going on. This is cool. I mean, this is her costume, so I wonder like what her most of these are probably costumes. So yeah, I wonder what her like normal fit will look like. But this is a cool ass design for her.
I
No,
I
you know what I
love
kind of, what would be hilarious
what
if let's say Engine was revealed to be like secretly like an incredibly wealthy person in this world. What if he was like, hey, what is Mimo paying you? Oh, okay, I'll triple it. Fight for us because she literally just said, I'm fighting for the money. The last chapter.
Yeah,
Okay, I didn't remember
I don't
that.
think they need her assistance though. That
Yeah,
that's
But
like
more so to just be like,
negotiating while you're in the you've got the upper hand.
yeah. If they're you don't negotiate when you're winning.
yeah, true. Unless
I,
she knows something and she's like has loose lips.
Yeah,
yeah,
maybe we'll see.
I
But yeah,
love the amount of melanin that Kay puts in this series. Like, to just
oh yeah.
Yeah,
two more dark
it's
characters.
yeah. It's definitely like something that that honestly is welcomed. The community is loving it, and
Yeah.
I can see why. It's like it's a form of representation that we haven't really don't really like see much of in a lot of manga.
Yeah.
Unless it's like from the olden times and not the best to really showcase.
Yeah, yeah, it's refreshing because you got like this guy, and it's like, yeah, this is the type of haircut like a fucking black guy would have. Like this is the you could see that she fucking puts into work like the textures and everything, the facial features. Like this looks like somebody I might know or some shit. Like this is really cool. The dreads and shit. Like these are cool designs, and every design she's come up with has been cool. I don't think there's been a single one where I was like, yeah, nah, this character's kind of ugly, but
So
Caroline's been killing it.
Like even
so who
my
wants to?
most goofy design is cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like she has a way with designs, like something about it. Like even similar to how like Oda will do like a goofy wacky design, but it just fits in the world and can somehow make that design look kind of creepy in a certain
It's
light.
it's the silhouette trick. If you
Yeah,
Yeah.
can recognize a character from their silhouette, it's a good design, and I feel like you can do that for most characters in Gachiakuta.
Yeah,
oh yeah,
for
one
sure.
hundred percent.
Everybody's got their own fucking look for sure.
I can't wait for the anime to come out and some random people on the internet just make up random bullshit to hate on the series for.
I can't wait to
That
hear how they say it's just like a XYZ clone. Like somebody's gonna be like, this is just Bleach with fucking stinky clothes or something. You know how they do. Like this
yeah,
is just fucking Naruto with fucking guns or some shit people say.
I
Yeah.
can't wait for people to make up fake controversy.
There's
Oh,
already people doing that. Like there was
Ugh,
someone that I follow on Twitter, and they're like, "Why is everybody hyping up what's probably going to be a 6 out of 10 show?" I'm like, because people
what now?
read the source material. We know
yeah.
it's good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. Idiot.
yeah,
Bonehead.
but it is what it is. It is what it is. I'm just curious to see how that's gonna how shit's gonna happen with it.
Yeah. Isn't
But
it coming
yeah,
out in July? I haven't been
July
following.
Yeah,
6th in
Okay, yeah,
like
we're
a
lit.
week.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Well,
two
a week and a
weeks.
half.
Yeah, week and a half. It's lit. I can't wait for July 4th to
Sunday.
get another day off of work.
Yep.
So yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to. Yeah, week and a half. This week, next week. Yep, it's up. It's upwards. Gotta get
We
some.
and it's coming out in a stacked anime season. A lot of sequels, a lot of new hyped shows. It's a good time for anime.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder how long is like how many episodes is gonna take to like blow up.
If
Because I mean, the
if
first episode is
it's
gonna be good, but
yeah, I mean, like I was telling you, I'm making a video talking about like my hype for it, but also concerns in terms of how the wider anime community could respond to it because Gachiakuta does kind of take its time in the first couple of chapters to establish itself.
Yeah.
There's not a lot
yeah,
of not a lot of big bombastic fights for the first few chapters for the most part, and the big fight against Jabber isn't until like the 20s, so it's probably not gonna be till like within episode maybe 5 or 6 of the season. So it all depends on people's attention spans. But like,
yeah,
if it is I'm hoping it's a two core kind of like whether it be back to back or split. Because if it's one core, that means we're probably gonna end like on the Amo arc leading into the introduction, like and ending it on like the introduction of Zodal and the rest of the Raiders and going into the Trash Beast arc. And then like the second core or second season could basically be the Trash Beast arc for the most part.
yeah. I'm
That's my
interested.
guess.
Yeah, I think it's smart to do 24 episodes for sure. 12 is just not enough in my
No.
Yeah,
opinion. But
especially because like the Amo arc is good, but I don't think it's like good enough to end the season on.
another thing is just like I remember like with Demon Slayer, like it was like I remember like because I read Demon Slayer before it got animated, and I remember like when the anime was coming out, I was like hyping it up and telling people like you're gonna be want to be watching this, and like nobody checked it out until like not only episode 19 with the fucking Hinokami, whatever that shit was called, but like the story kind of picks up around the time when like Inosuke and fucking Zenitsu join, and that's like
Yeah,
chapter 12, and so that's already a few episodes before people are like really start to get locked in or whatever. So I wonder if it's gonna be a thing where it's like people are watching it, but nobody's like super into Gachi until like episode 5 or 6 when something happens to like blow everybody away. But I mean, real ones know we're gonna be locked in and watching it either way. So
Yeah.
yeah, 100%. I'm excited. I'm excited for this.
yeah. But I think I'm squeezed out for this. What you got, Traffy?
Nah, I'm good. I got nothing else.
Weeb, anything?
No, just watch Gachiakuta on July 6th.
All right. That's gonna do it for Gachiakuta chapter 140.2, weakness part 2. Now jumping into Ichi the Witch, 39th hunt, feelings returned. And it was a banger, but Traffy, what's your thoughts, man?
This was the chapter that really solidified Ichi the Witch for me. Like obviously I've been enjoying it up until this point, but this chapter just it made me feel something, and that's the way to get me to really lock in with your series. And that's just what I wanted to say before we started talking, because I don't want to jump to the end right away. So I will let someone else carry it on.
Okay. So I mean, I want to say yes. I really liked it. I like the arc. I mean, it's possible that there's still a little more here, but it
Wrap up
definitely
probably.
yeah. We probably get like a chapter or two wrapping up. Thank you for the fucking thanks for saving us. We'll see you later type shit. But yeah, I guess it's possible that something happens like another bad guy could fucking crash land and fucking end the happy times. But probably won't happen. But as far as this arc goes so far, I am satisfied. I definitely thought it would be a little longer. Like I tweeted and said that like while I did enjoy the arc and I don't have any complaints, I definitely was hoping that it would be maybe a little longer and maybe get other characters a little more involved. Maybe have the fucking misery, joyful misery, what a joyful sorrow magic be a little more pathetic. Like maybe have it like fighting to resist, like having its core taken, like clawing at it or something. Just something to just make it look way more pathetic, kind of like a Mahito like running from a Yuji type of situation. But like this
Yeah.
this works. This isn't like bad. I'm not like mad or anything. I just thought that like other people might get involved or Discaris might show up or something. But I mean, it makes sense that she was watching the taper or whatever. So this is very solid. I'm pleased with the first arc, and it satisfying, just like Iruma's first couple of arcs. This was about it's within expectations. I expected to be satisfied, and I am. So there we go. What about you, Weep?
Oh man, I'm glad that we got this ending. Like, legitimately, how Gokuraku just landed the final blow, shattering his arm and body, and then all of a sudden, once Ichi just actually acquires Gokuraku, sorry, I was saying Gokuraku, uh, Bakugami, uh, we see all of the sorrow and like sad memories and emotions from everybody in this city, just going back to them and them remembering all that and just finally letting out all that grief. Like healthy grieving. It just warmed my heart seeing seeing everybody just accept everything that happened and at the end with Ichi just looking over at Gakuraku and his sister, just letting everything go, letting all their emotions out, and how he actually started to cry shows that Ichi is like legitimately grow shows like Ichi's growth as he's understanding more, like understanding people more. I just think it just works so well.
Yeah. Yeah, Ichi shedding tears definitely it does a lot for his character, and this is just very interesting interactions with Ichi and just other humans in general. This made me think about I asked a question in one of my group chats the other day, and I was saying you guys, oh, it was after the Aruma chapter because the Aruma chapter was big on like love interest stuff, and so I said, do you guys think Ichi will ever get a serious love interest character? And if so, do what do you think they're going to be like? If it's most people, because I tweeted it afterwards, and a lot of people said they think it's going to be Kamugi. But if it isn't Kamugi, which it might end up being, what do you think that their like personalities would be like? Would it be like a pharaoh character like Ichi, who is like obsessed with like hunting magic? So do you think it'll be like an opposite type of person, kind of like Toge Ice and Discaris? One person in the group chat was like, yeah. I definitely think that he's going to have a love interest soon because Ichi's having to learn different facets of human relationships. We already got Discaris for family and Gokuraku for friends, and the next person will probably be, some sort of love interest for, giving him that, you know, that side of human relationships or whatever. And I mean, that's looking ahead, but this was definitely a good, life lesson for Ichi, and getting a real friend, and he's got his family, so it's going a long way for our boy.
Yeah, and so one thing that I was wondering, so Ichi, gets Bakugami, right? How does that magic work? Like, does he have to use the magic and hug a person and then he like takes their sorrow? How does he use that in a fight?
Yeah,
Or is he
yeah.
just gonna be like, this dude was despicable, I don't want to use this magic, so he just never uses it?
I can see that. Like that magic never gets used, and he like it kind of like tortures him, like in a way, because everyone else is getting used and gets to come outside and like have fun, and that one is just like, please, I want to see Lord Magic Hater, like I want to see, I mean, World Hater, please let me, use my abilities. I beg of thee. And he just never gets used ever. Because yeah, I can't unless they like repurpose his ability or make it like use it in a different way. I don't know how he could use this unless
Yeah.
it's like stab someone and makes them sad. Like he just gives the sorrow of yeah, like what? Because that would mean he would have to steal someone's like sadness to use
That's
that. Like
true.
Yeah.
he's not gonna do that. Yeah, Ichi's not gonna do that shit. This is a despicable power. So yeah, it probably never use that shit.
This arc to me, yeah, it could have been longer, but I do appreciate the way it's come to its conclusion. Like the ideas of how to healthily deal with grief and familial bonds versus friendly bonds, just bonds between people in general. It it's I don't know, when you get to the last page of this chapter, you feel like everything's come to a conclusion. Like it feels like you're standing there with Ichi and Descartes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know. I love this chapter.
yeah. This is one that's gonna really hit when they animate it. Like I can just
Mhm.
I can hear the music and
Music,
see the
voice acting.
fucking yeah the crying and shit and the fucking sun coming over the horizon and shit. Yeah, it's gonna go crazy. The fucking
Yeah.
flower petals blowing in the wind.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a good one. Definitely one for the books for Ichi the Witch. Can't wait to see, what happens next, where they go next. But yeah, Gokuraku join in the gang, or what do you think? You think
No,
he join in?
100%.
Yes.
Yeah,
No doubt.
I feel like
The
he's got
prophecy was
to.
that they would get a new ally, and
Oh, true.
Ichi and Gakurako connected. So, 100%, he's joining.
Yeah. So what do you think? They're gonna be like Discaris is gonna be like, yeah, we got like a mechanic back at the crib that can like fix up your limbs and shit.
Nah,
Oh man,
Gokuraku's the
Shirobadana.
mechanic.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
I mean, yeah,
He did that all to himself.
yeah, but
yeah.
with the resources of the Witches Association, imagine what he could do,
Oh
and the
yeah.
research group.
And just like
Shirobadana, she would have a
getting it
field day.
getting it done quick. Like he probably like they as soon as they get back, they're probably going like to be sent on another mission. I could see like Goku Raku like, nah, I can't see him like if they say like you got to go down, but like there's no time to like sit and repair. Like I don't see him going like, oh, I'll stay here. You guys go have fun. Like he's gonna want to be involved, especially to help pay back his new best buddy Ichi. It's like
Yeah.
I'm not gonna let you take on the fucking dangers of the world by yourself. You saved my country. Like I'm not letting you fucking go fight monsters by yourself, bro. I'm definitely coming, even if I don't got no arms.
He's a true bro.
Yeah, yeah. This is good stuff.
And the scar is comforting Ichi kind of really great, and her noticing him just experiencing these emotions. Just a great moment.
Yeah, yeah. This is growth for everybody. Where's Kamugi? Where is she?
Still
Somewhere.
hiding.
Was she even in this chapter?
I don't know.
No, she was not.
We just we just see Shirbadan in the mirror that she was using to tell everybody the situation and lying and all that stuff. So yeah, she wasn't in this chapter. Looks like.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. He punched the actual absolute shit out of this fucking magic. Like his arms and legs and shit look broken. Like he punched the fuck out of him. His face is fucking lumpy. He looks like what's that movie where the dude had the fucking lumpy ass face?
The
Like the
Goonies?
yeah, the Goonies, man. He's got a Goonie head, yeah. Like this dude, he fucking punched the shit out of him. Yeah, it's good stuff.
Yeah,
Good stuff. Good stuff. Taper dissolving. Yeah, I don't have a fucking clue how this power could be used. So like they gotta just banish him. Maybe put him in fucking magic jail or something.
perhaps. Though it
Lock his
would be
stone in a
hilarious.
box.
The
Yeah.
interaction with Uroro is what I'm looking forward to in Ichi's inner world.
Yeah, that's if he fucking allows him to go in there. He might just fucking throw him in a blender or something. Put him in a fucking bury him in cow
Uh,
poop.
Screw this guy.
it's gonna be
Yeah.
hilarious.
Yeah. That shit looks like a strawberry or something too. His fucking gym.
A strawberry?
Yeah, because he like it came out of his chest and Ichi's grabbing it. It looks like a little strawberry or something.
I guess I can kind of see it.
A rock. Some sort of strawberry rock. I don't know. But yeah, good chapter. Can't wait. Hopefully, maybe we'll get a color page next week. Actually, since it's the end of an arc, and we're starting the next. I feel like we're definitely getting a color page within the next 3 chapters for Ichi. If it's not next
Yeah.
Oh
week,
yeah,
it's the one after that. Because
Ichi's been
like,
getting a lot of color pages lately, which I'm all for.
yeah, it's. I mean, fucking Iruma gets a lot of color pages. Like Iruma gets color pages all the fucking time. So I feel like
I mean,
Ichi's gonna end up
Iruma's.
getting them a lot.
I mean, Iruma's Shonen Champion's literal like One Piece equivalent. It's literal like poster child at this point,
Yeah, yeah, and
so it
I
makes
feel.
sense.
Yeah, I feel like this is gonna end up being that too. Like the fucking Osamu Nishi is gonna dominate 2 magazines and just have a fucking bestseller in 2 places and monopolize the world. Yeah, so big bangers
I
all
mean,
over.
she's good at what she does, so
Yeah, for
makes
sure.
sense.
Yeah, but I think I'm squeezed out for this one. You got anything else, Weeb?
No, just very beautiful chapter.
Yes, sir. Traffy.
I'm spent.
All right, we all squeezed out on this. This has been Ichi the Witch, 39th Hunt, Feelings Returned. Into Otter of the Flame, Chapter 7, Crimson Sword. I didn't see a title there, but yeah, we got one, baby. I guess I'll start it off. I like the chapter. We haven't talked about it in a few weeks, and for a new series, I guess that's a lot more time to be missing reviews or stuff or whatever. But so far, I have liked the series. I see a lot of people kind of been bashing it online, complaining about this or that, and up until this chapter, I was like, I don't really see it. I still enjoy it a lot. I didn't dislike this chapter, but this was the first chapter that I didn't really care about, and I don't really know what it is. I guess like I don't care about this villain and like the way that like the conflict, like they entered this town, villains here. They kind of solved the problem like immediately. There was no like getting to know people, and I don't know. It felt fast and like it's interesting that like training arcs and stuff being fast is like a complaint that people have because like with his previous series like the training arc was too long and like the story took too long to have cool things happen, but now like cool things are happening with like the main character. He's obviously got cool art and he's like got cool abilities, but I guess like the impact isn't there. I don't know. I really like the second character that's with him. Talk more about that later, I guess. But yeah, I mean, I like the series, but this chapter wasn't doing what I felt like it should do for me, and I'm still just unsure why that's the case. But I want to hear your thoughts, Traffy. What you think?
So I think it's a little too fast, and it's not so much. I guess it is. So like the training arc, for example, was like 1 or 2 chapters. Them traveling has been like 1 chapter, and then they get to this place, they fight this guy, they beat him in 1 chapter. So it's not like it's one thing's too fast. The issue is that it's just consecutive back to back. Things are happening so quick, and like, yeah, this is a jobber enemy. He's supposed to show the growth of Otter, but it just, because the training was so fast and then this just happens, it doesn't feel like it's earned.
Yeah, yeah. The training was fast, and then the first conflict was fast, and we don't get to like know anybody. We don't like know what these guys, other than like we're bad. That's our motivation. Mason, we're bad. Like we don't
Yeah, I mean,
know much.
yeah, I do have to say. this chapter was good in terms of just confirming something in terms of like the Ice Kingdom basically being ruled or controlled by the Ice Spirit,
Yeah.
which I don't think was confirmed beforehand. I don't think the leader was was like the Ice Spirit or whatever. I don't think that was ever confirmed or anything. I could be wrong, but I don't think it was ever confirmed.
Well,
I think
it says that like the powers are granted from the king, fragments of magic from the winter spirit. So I think it's still like the king is still in charge. He's just using
Wait,
the winter spirit to.
okay. So I must okay. I read that wrong then. So, but even still, that is a vital piece of information that confirms something that they're using the winter spirit, while Odor is using a flame spirit. So there's that. Also, I just like how the first enemy they fight is just like that's a stereotypical, uh, high off their ass ego, general type that just blabs everything because he feels like he's so superior to everybody else. I feel like that's a decent like first antagonist to like showcase growth in terms of the training arc. But then again, it doesn't like hit as hard though, like you said, with how quick the training arc in this section was.
I
Yeah,
wouldn't consider him an antagonist though. Like,
it just kind of feels like bandits on a road type of deal.
yeah,
Like they
because
just
like try comparing him to like Zabuza. There is a huge gap
yeah.
between them being antagonists.
For sure. I think that's the thing. Like this series needs a like an arc now. Like the
Yeah,
training was fast and like we should have moved into an arc and not like
a
we
quick
shouldn't
adventure.
yeah, it shouldn't have been a bump on the road. It should have been a multi-chapter arc where it's like we're now fighting guys for like 4 or 5 chapters, but like have it be interesting because like it's everybody's always just gonna look back to Red Hood and say like he's doing the same thing or like he's not doing. My thing was like Red Hood was it took a long time through the training arc and the main character didn't get to do shit. So like if you have an arc that isn't like a training arc, but like you also give the main character things to do and have him have some agency and feel like somebody who matters, it would be better. Like I wouldn't mind if we jumped into a 5 to 10 chapter arc where Otter had to like save this town and we like actually got to meet people and it took a while and wasn't like an episodic thing. Like we're still in episodic mode right now.
Yeah, yeah, I agree with that.
And yeah, this series needs to now like it's done its introduction. We met, two or three characters, and the main character has got his training. Now let's get into something meaty, something that matters, something that people will, be able to remember and talk about. Like if it survives and it gets an anime, like, oh yeah, what has the best first arc? Like you want like something to have a conversation about, not just like, yeah, this was some dude they bumped into on the road. So maybe we
Yeah,
move into
true.
that next week, but I think this was the final chapter of the volume. So we'll see. Hopefully we get some volume cover art soon, and hopefully that's fire. I mean, volume cover art can, I guess, go a long way. But yeah, Otter Man, the art's always fire here. His sword stuff, cool as fuck, and I really like that. I did like the only thing that I liked about this antagonist was that he was basically Ice Gara. Like all his moves were like Ice Coffin,
Yeah.
fucking great Ice Coffin burial. I was like, this dude literally just stole Sand Coffin fucking bar for bar, yeah. All his moves are fucking
Yeah,
sad moves, but
just ice variants.
yeah, I was like, okay, because I fucked with Gara, but also ice and like crystal like stuff. I kind of like get turned off on when it comes to manga. Like I feel like it's hard to nail art for ice. Um,
Unless unless you're Grateful Buster.
I haven't seen much of Fairy Tail, so I can't speak on it. But like this reminded me of like Shangri-La Frontier with the crystal scorpions, and I did not enjoy that because like I just didn't like the way it looked, and it's like hard to really tell what's going on. And some of these pages with the ice art, it kind of felt like that with this dude's like powers and stuff. But other than that, I think everything looks cool, and I really like the I forget her name, Epicurio or whatever, Epicurio, whatever the ice skater girl. Her shit is cool, but my thing is like if her power is ice skates, like what else can? Well, that's not a power, but like if her weapon is ice skates, what else can she do? Because like why is that your main method of combat? Like, what if the enemy isn't ice related, or what if like, what if you guys defeat the Ice Kingdom and there's other enemies to face? Like, are you always just betting on there being ice? Like, it worked in this fight because it was an ice enemy, but like basing your combat style off of an elemental advantage that might not always be there, especially now that you're teaming up with a guy who uses fire, like she might become useless at some points because like, oh shit, you accidentally melted all the ice, I don't have shit to skate on. And does she have a sword? Like what else can
I
she do?
I think it's more so her mastery of heroic vigor over otters. So she's probably faster, stronger, more durable than Otter, uh, closer to 6'10" than Otter for sure. So I think she's probably just really good at combat.
Yeah, so she's probably like, even though she looks skinny, she's probably actually buff and kind of like a fucking Biscuit Kruger situation, but not
Or
so
just
big.
toned.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
not like big like that, but yeah, she's probably a strong ass character, and she's just choosing to use ice skates because it's convenient and flashy or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, that
Yeah,
could be the case.
yeah, she's cool, and Otto's cool, but yeah, right now there just needs to be more. We need some beef. We need some chunky chicken noodle soup in here for this story, because I like the characters that we have that the characters that matter.
Yeah.
These
Yeah.
villager dudes, I don't care about them, and these bad guys, they're just generic fucking ice fucking Dumbo, and they can rot in hell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't really have much else to say on this chapter though.
Yeah, same. Um, Yeah, let me see. There was something. Oh yeah, just the panel where Otter says like, "I've learned how to use heroic vigor. I can now withstand the spirit's immense power. Now I need to just take all the flame." Blah blah blah. That like when he's talking about how he learned how to use heroic vigor, I feel like that doesn't hit as hard because the process of him learning like training to use heroic vigor was like 3 pages. Like that training was
Yeah.
so fast that like the training happens so fast that I don't feel anything when he talks about how he learned to use it because it's like, did you
Yeah.
really though? Like,
Well,
I mean,
I
look,
feel like it
she
was
did say
supposed
that he
to.
hasn't mastered it fully. Like, there's
yeah,
still time room to grow, hopefully. But like, well, yeah, I hope things get like expanded more instead of it just being how it is right now, which it's a battle shonen. It should, if given in time, it'll expand more.
yeah,
I feel like it was supposed to be like days or weeks of training, but just because of how fast they did it, it felt like it was hours. And that doesn't
yeah,
feel, long enough for him to have actually learned how to use it.
yeah,
Yeah, fair enough. I do think like we discussed this before. I think this also comes down to like how Red Hood like instantly went into a training arc immediately after its first like its introduction arc, but it was taking so long that it ended up getting canceled before they could really like flesh out the story the way that they wanted to. And I guess now they're kind of like course correcting with Odor, but instead of making the training arc like a decent size, it was like what, 2 chapters, three,
yeah.
to
Yeah.
like
So
speed run it so they get to like some story content, instant gratification, and then zoom into like their like a real arc now, hopefully.
yeah, hopefully going into volume 2, we get some like major stuff, some real meat on the bones. Because like I don't want this series to get axed. Like a lot of people
Me
are
either.
already calling for it to be axed, and they were like 3 weeks ago saying that it sucks and it's gonna be out of here. And I'm like, I don't feel like
Yeah, people,
now is fair for that yet. Like give it some time,
Yeah.
like
I mean, people kind of like the meme aside. People were saying that about Kagurabachi at the start anyway. Like, yeah, it had cool
yeah,
art, but like it didn't have like much to it at the beginning either.
yeah,
Until we got to the first real arc with Sojo.
yeah. A lot of people weren't really caring until like Sojo came along,
Yeah,
and fucking changed the landscape. But yeah, hopefully something like that happens here because I don't want it to go, man. I like it, but
it's a lot of potential.
Yeah, but I mean, at the end of the day, potential don't matter if you don't fucking capitalize on that shit. You don't
Yeah,
use that. But
Megumi.
yeah, type shit. Goddamn. Shout out to that
Make
dude.
a Potential Man video, Yato.
I'm not gonna touch that with a stick. Um,
Oh,
but yeah, I might got some JJK videos in the tank, but right now I can't think of anything. But that's gonna do it for me. You guys got anything else? Weep.
I think I'm good.
All right, Trev.
Nah, I'm done.
That's Otter of the Flame, Chapter 7, Crimson Sword, baby. Good luck. Now, for our last manga segment of the night, we have Kagurabachi, Chapter 83, The N10. And, Traffy, what's your thoughts?
So, this one there's a lot to talk about. But I kind of saw it going in this direction before we got to this chapter with Intin being created to destroy the other swords. And of course it had been hinted at with him destroying Cloud Gouger. But
Yeah,
I
Cloud
do
Gouger.
like seeing that confirmation, and I'm interested in where it goes and how that
Your
shapes
voice is cutting
Samura's.
out.
Oh,
Your voice
and
is cutting out.
how that shapes Samura's you know reaction to this.
Yeah. So, like, I don't really see it happening, but, like, Chihiro broke the Cloud Gouger. Do you think there's a chance of him breaking fucking Toby Mune here or no?
Uh I
There's a
feel like it's
chance, but
trying.
I don't think he'll go.
Oh, I feel like it's trying to paint that picture, but I don't think Chihiro is strong enough yet to do that. I think
Yeah.
it's a strength of will thing.
Yeah.
I do think that this fight will probably end in like a nick on Toby Mune to kind of show Samura that the N10 could like go work on a blade, even if it could work on an enchanted blade, especially one like Toby Mune is not as strong as Shinuchi, but has a strong connection to Samura. So making that the case study will like at least give Samura like some idea that maybe Chihiro is like making some sense here. Maybe this
Yeah.
is the answer, and maybe I don't have to die.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because Samura even kind of like shits on Sojo here. He's like, whoever was wielding the enchanted blade must have been some really puny thug for it to break. And like Chihiro kind of looks like he's not like, he's not happy with that response because it's like Sojo was strong and he had his own, his own fucking ideals and shit. He had his own vision for the future of this, sword and stuff like that. Like even though he wasn't on the right side of history, he still thought about this shit a lot, and he was a strong swordsman, and so like Samura is kind of like shitting on him. It's like, yeah, you broke it, but like that dude won't shit. So it's like if Chihiro was even like able to nick it like even a little bit, that would show Samura a lot. Like, okay, maybe the kid is really like capable of doing this shit. Like I was talking shit and made it seem like he couldn't possibly do this to someone strong, and I consider myself strong, but like he damn near broke my sword. Like he would have broken my sword if like we kept going, if we clashed, one more time or whatever. That'd be something.
Yeah. I like how Intin like swims back to Chihiro though. That was really cool because he gets disarmed and then you see the little goldfish just swim up towards him and then he
Yeah,
has his
that
sword
shit's
back.
Yeah,
fire. That shit's fire. So I saw people talking about it and they were saying that they think in this instant it is Chihiro like basically copying Toby Mune with his sword. Because remember, Inten had the ability, that one ability called Aka, and it was able to like kind of copy an ability or like store it or whatever. He did it with Flame Bone, and
Yeah.
they're saying that they think that he's doing that here, where like he copied Toby Mune's ability to like swap places with the feathers, and he did that with the goldfish right here.
Mm.
It could be a thing, but like I mean, we didn't see if the goldfish like teleported to the roof,
Yeah.
um, but like I'm pretty sure like he's done something like this before too. So I don't know if I really want to give too much, to that theory of it being the case. But like I remember him doing something I want to say similar in the Rakuzaichi arc when he was like trying to get his sword from the fucking storehouse or something. He was like locating it with spirit energy or some shit. And I feel like he did something like this then, but maybe not. I don't know. I'd have to go back and look. But
Oh shoot, what if he copies the resurrection and then kills Samura and brings him back to life to sever his contract?
yeah, that'd be nuts.
He's like, yeah,
Oh
this is
man,
my battle and my battle alone.
I feel like at that point, Samura would just like reinstate the contract unless like they somehow crippled him to the point where he couldn't like yeah, he killed him. Yeah, because I mean he probably wouldn't revive him instantly. He'd probably like kill him, revive him, and then he'd be out of commission for a little while. He kind of wakes up like Chihiro did, like a day or two later, like, what happened? Why, where am I? Why am I not dead? Chihiro cut me down, and then he realizes that like Chihiro didn't fucking kill him.
yeah, that might be that could happen.
Yeah, that would be actually fucking wild, yeah. I'm gonna
Yeah.
take that theory from my own, yeah.
Mm. Though I do think that the possibility of like at least Samura dying this arc would be like poetic in terms of like him realizing that he doesn't need to die. But let's say one of the oh, shit, I completely forgot the villain group's name. Uh,
Ishaku?
the Hishaku, yes, the Hishaku just come up and like take his manage to like get into his I guess blind spot, I guess, no pun intended, to like take him out after all this. And then because this also ends up taking off a powerful ally off the board permanently, the enemies can get Toby Mune now, and it adds I guess more stakes to this arc because realistically no characters we care about have been killed
Yeah,
in if, so far, and there isn't like major consequences right now, save for
Yeah.
them already having Uraha's enchanted blade, I believe, still. But yeah, there's still there needs to be like some bigger stakes because yeah, they have the other enchanted blade, but they still have the wielder that was supposedly dead alive and is still one of the best swordsmen out there. He can hold his own. But if you have Samura still around and he decides to join them after realizing the potential of Enten, like stopping this big doomsday prophecy type thing, then you have too much of a stacked deck, even if the Kabunami lose a good chunk of their members due to the Hishaku just, blackmailing everybody. You still have some strong people there regardless. And if the contracts are broken, then Uraha and Samura could potentially, well, have their own sorcery abilities anyway that you can unlock for them if anything. So
yeah.
there's always that.
I wonder how that works. Like, if like they lost their sorcery, can they get it again if they lose their contract or whatever? Because we haven't seen that happen. So,
Yeah, yeah,
but
which is why I'm saying that could be possible because I think the whole point of the enchanted blade is that their like sorcery energy just gets funneled into the blade and that becomes their power, which is
yeah,
why they can't use their sorcery. But since they're disconnected, they could use whatever sorcery they would have developed
yeah,
initially, which
yeah,
I kind of hope is the case because again, if Zamora turns back to good, and heck, we also have his daughter who like is probably as almost as good of a swordsman as him. So we still have a stacked deck for the heroes. So this would add consequences and more stakes going forward if we get rid of Samura right now.
Yeah.
yeah. I could see him. I could see him going. It's just crazy that we're still in this arc. Like they're outside of the fucking hotel. So this is all like the same, like, Chihiro joined with the Masumi, and they went and fucking found Samura's daughter, and they took her to the hotel. Like they had the motorcycle chase, and the fucking the battle in the hotel, and now they're outside. Like this is all the same arc, and now we're just outside. Like the setting is changed several times. This is gonna go crazy in the anime too. Like I could see this what is happening right now being the last like 2 episodes of the season or whatever,
Yeah.
whatever season it is. Like if this is like season 2, maybe like the first core, I can see this being like episode 10 out of 12 or whatever.
Oh,
This is it's just been
Well,
fire.
yeah.
yeah.
It just nonstop fire.
Mm-hmm. A full. It's been like a full year. We're going over a full year of just straight up heat.
Yeah.
Like actually, it counts Sojo 2 full years of just pure back to back awesomeness.
Yeah, it's been just nonstop. Like there hasn't been any like breaks or anything. And just this chapter, just the combat is great. Like watching Samura and Chihiro go back and forth, fucking with the teleporting with the Nishiki and I forget what Samura's is called, but just swapping places with the fucking feathers and fucking him cutting the feather and then swapping places like swapping the sword. Like that shit's just too cool, yeah.
Yeah.
This is good. But
Hmm.
what the fuck was that? Um, there was one moment here on page 12 where I was confused because I was like, Chihiro is guarding, like it looks like he's holding the sword with his right hand, and then on the panel under that, he's throwing it like it's being tossed up, but his left hand is going up in the air. So I was like, I think he made a mistake. But on the previous hand, the sword is in his left hand. Chihiro just pulls it over to his right side to guard. So I was like about to call and say like, nope, Hokuzono fucked up in the
Oh,
art right here, and drew the wrong arm, but he moved the left arm over to his right side to guard like that. So Hokuzono did not miss.
yeah.
But yeah, this it's good. Always good to see more scenes with his dad too. I like this
Yeah.
blacksmith stuff. I've been wanting to see more of that. And we got some Sheba shots.
I still wonder where he's at.
Bro taking a shower right now with fucking popcorn popping on the stove. He don't
Phone's
even
on
know
do
battles
not
happen.
disturb.
Yeah, you got a fucking masseuse lady ready to rub his back while everybody's fighting for their lives. What did you guys think about Uraha coming back?
Oh,
I mean,
I saw it coming. I called it.
yeah, I think you already called that. I mean, it
Yeah,
makes sense with everything that happened with Chihiro. It makes full sense that
yeah,
Samura would do that, especially to a disciple and friend, and bring him back.
yeah. I
I
feel
do.
like it was right.
Oh no, sorry, I lost my train of thought about it. Go ahead.
Okay. I was gonna say I feel like it was obvious. Like the moment we saw Chihiro like wake up and they were like, "Yeah, your contract was severed." I felt like it was obvious that Uraha would come back. I saw some people pissed about it happening. Like they were saying like it shouldn't have happened. Like he should stay dead. Deaths don't have any weight or whatever. And I'm just like, really? Like I feel like the moment Chihiro woke up, you should have expected this to happen at some point. My only
Yeah.
issue was that like I felt like it happened a little too soon.
I
But
mean, next arc, yeah.
yeah, like like when that type of thing happens, I would hope to like be without that character for like an arc or two to have the surprise, be like, oh shit, that dude was actually alive, and like, I mean, it makes sense. Hakuri was in trouble, so it's like, how else would he have gotten out of this situation? But that's the writer's job to fucking to write that. But he wanted him to come back here, so I can't complain. What do I know? I don't know what's coming up in the future. But like when I thought Uraha would make a return, but I thought it would be a
Much
little
later.
later. I still felt like this was a bit too soon, but it works.
Yeah, I mean
Yeah.
they got Hakuri back in the fight too already, so
Yeah,
I
yeah.
yeah they're bringing people back in quick. It's kind of a desperate moment where it's needed.
Yeah, because Sakuri has only been out like he hasn't been out for a full arc. Like he was taken out of commission at the end of the last arc, and like we're still in the following arc where he was like laying down, like you can't go anywhere, and now he's up moving and shit. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, so people aren't being taken out for long stretches of time. I mean, in universe, I think it has definitely been a few days at least, but
Yeah.
like as far as arcs, feel like Hakuri has been gone for like 20 chapters, and Uraha has been gone for like 30 or whatever. And I just I would like a little more. But who knows? We don't know how long this story gonna go on. I feel like it's got a lot of gas in the tank though. It's not like close
Yeah,
to
it still does
ending,
have.
but
yeah.
yeah.
We still got
But
two. We still got like three sword bearers left, and the rest of the Hishaku, and
yeah. But
also
even
potentially exploring that island from the war if need
yeah.
be.
Yeah. There's always ways to extend it and shit and have more happen. I saw some people were saying they think that the fucking the samurai guy that's about to fight Shiba, they think that was fucking Sojo because Sojo was like missing an arm or something. But like I think there was some shit that easily debunked that. But I hope we get
I think he
back to that
exploded.
soon. Yeah. but we ain't see like his body flying. We just saw like him screaming, and then like the next page was the building exploding. But like we've seen people can teleport and shit, so somebody
Yeah,
could have gotten in there and taken him out or something. You never know. If you don't see a body, you can't confirm it, bruh. Nothing's
we learned
confirmed
Um,
that
until a
already.
body is shown. Yeah, we got Uraha back, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, but yeah, this these last few chapters have been bangers. I don't know how this fight is gonna end. I guess we'll see if she gets nicked. But Chihiro talking about he's gonna destroy the Shinichi and just save the day. So that boy's determined. He's on a mission. This is a good shot of him standing in the fucking pond too. This is dope.
Yeah, yeah, I really like that panel.
Yeah, it's good shit. But
yeah.
I think I'm squeezed out unless y'all got anything else for this one.
Nah, I don't
Nah, I'm
got
good.
nothing else.
Okay. Well, I think that's going to do it for Kagurabachi chapter 83, The Inten. All right. So, since we haven't been here for a while, we won't do comments this time, but we will, talk about our favorite chapter of the week. I guess I will start off since I never start. I'm gonna say I think my favorite chapter was Ichi. It was a strong, tug of war between Ichi and Kagurabachi, but Ichi closed up an arc, and it was real emotional. Lots of great moments there. That's my favorite for the week. What about you, Weep?
Hmm. It's a tough choice because for me it was it was definitely between Gachi, Kagurabachi, and Ichi. I think I think I'm gonna go with Kagurabachi due to the story implications mainly.
Okay, okay. Traffy, what about you? Chapter of the week.
Mine would probably be between. Nah, it's not between anything. It's Ichi.
Okay,
Fair enough.
Yeah, just
so
solid Ichi.
It was a good chapter.
solid Ichi, very good chapter. Before wrapping up the segment, I do want to say that there was a new series that started today called K Digami, and I thought it was really good first chapter.
Yeah, I enjoyed it as
Everyone,
well.
yeah,
I'll read
yeah.
it when I get the chance.
It's good. I'm thinking I might cover it on my channel. I don't know. I'm
Give it a try.
wavering it. Yeah, I'm weighing the options because I really like the first chapter. So see how that goes. And if you guys in the comments like the first chapter, speak up on it. Tell us your thoughts on that. But also, now jumping into the outro. This has been episode 29 we're on. Yeah, 29. So thank you for watching. Obviously, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, help us out. Even though we've been MIA for a while, we'll try and do better. Help us get to that 1,000 subscriptions because we need that. And let us know what your thoughts were on the chapters, anything that we said, any takes. If Traffy had any shit takes,
What the
feel free to
hell?
let him know. Yeah, let him know down below that he was wrong about everything, and all that good stuff. This has been Yato, and I was joined by my good buddies Papa Traffy
Yeah.
and the Weep.
Night.
Yep. See you guys next time. If I left out anything in the outro, this is only my third day out here. I'll see y'all next time.